I don't understand how stairs are a lethal obstacle in this game just because he's running. Like, if you're running and you're... Oh, God. Oh, no, it's starting.
I love these big faces that come up because they're just like...
oh, and then you just jump past them. They kind of look at you. See their eyes move?
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Not those things. They're going to bite you.
That one thing looks like Wally in the background.
Hey, what does that thing think it's doing being around?
Who the hell do you think you are being round up in here? Look, Wally. It's Wally.
It's not Wally. It's just
his
a
eyes
sad robot fighting the lightning gods.
That's what Wally was.
Yeah, that's the movie. Remember that time Wally fought Thor?
I do.
Not even in the Avengers. Maybe he could have been in the Avengers if he was like a crossover.
Maybe like in the background you see.
Oh, good! How do I get... Oh, I have to jump. That's right. I have to jump into it and then jump.
You ever seen like Hulk versus?
Yeah, Hulk versus Wally.
Yeah.
Wally just runs and screams the whole time.
Yeah.
Maybe,
like that.
Maybe Eva comes up and like blasts him. Was that her name, Eva?
Yeah.
Or was it just Eve?
No, because I remember he's like, Eva. I'm pretty sure he says that.
Take your word for it. I guess.
I did think Eddie Murphy was Samuel Jackson. Or Samuel Jackson was Eddie Murphy.
There's a, how are those not interchangeable sentences that you need to correct that?
Well, because I wasn't thinking Eddie Murphy was Samuel Jackson. I was thinking Samuel Jackson was Eddie Murphy. Or that Frozen.
I don't understand the difference of what you're saying to me right now.
There's a difference. Because I didn't originally think he was Samuel Jackson.
Okay.
I originally thought he was Eddie Murphy.
Back on the subject of Up, there's a part in that movie.
We never talked about
There's one. Back on the subject of Wall-E, there's a part in that movie.
Where this old guy comes in and he's all like...
And he's like, I'm gonna tie balloons to my house. I was like, this is the craziest movie about robots in the future I ever saw. I was like, I don't even... Yeah. One time I accidentally watched an entire like marathon of all the Pixar movies in a row and just assumed they were the same universe.
And we're the same movie.
Yeah, it was just all continuous. Like there were no credits or anything. It just ended and like it's like...
Man, this incredible Toy Story Up Wall-E is just one
like,
weird movie.
When are the toys gonna come to life and help the superheroes fight Sinestro?
Yeah, it's like there's a whole bunch of stories going on in this one movie. I don't get it.
His name was Syndrome. What the hell? Who the hell is Sinestro?
Sinestro, you know, Green Lanterns.
Yeah. Yeah. There was also the Green Lantern movie slipped in there. It was a crazy day for me.
Who arranges this playlist of movies for you to watch? And then didn't tell you it was a playlist.
It's like, my gosh, there's a lot in this movie.
Did you just like get on Netflix and see what it was like? Did you see like the category that was just like animation? You're like, oh,
so we could like highlight, play all.
Yeah, and you're like, oh man, this is one really freaking long movie. It's like 17 hours.
Give me some popcorn.
I can't even finish it all.
Alright, anyway, back on the subject. I was talking about Wall-E when you trying to explain to you what I was talking about. There's a part in Wall-E, there's one joke that made me furious in Wall-E because it was so unfunny. And I'm sure you remember. It's towards the end, after they kind of introduce the fat people on the ship. And there's this part where the kids are all like the ship starts, like, I don't know, turning or something. It, like, capsizes or whatever, and the ship starts, like, tilting, and people are, like, flying out of stuff.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And there's this lady, this fat lady and some guy. And, like, these kids start falling out of the nursery, like, sliding down.
Yeah.
And they, like, go to, like, help them. Like, they reach out and create, like, this barrier. And she was like, get ready to have some kids.
Oh, I do remember that.
That's the stupidest... Who at Pixar? Like, who wrote that joke down? Who even had that in his storyboard? And so he's like, I don't... That's not funny. Like, that's a stupid joke. That's terrible. Who would even... It doesn't even make sense in, like, a speaking context. Who would say, get ready to have... Like, That's another one of those things.
Hey, when I go pick up women, that's what my line...
Get ready to have some kids... No! Think of a different joke! That doesn't even make sense! It's not... Like, it's like... It's as if it's a pun. Like, it's like a play on words of some sort. But it's not! It's not something people say! It doesn't even make sense in English.
You're not even having the kids, you're catching them.
Yeah, I know. It's like...
It's not like you're...
I don't know. Not have some kids.
On the topic of Pixar, and I already mentioned Incredibles, you know what really bothers me?
What?
And it's a part in that movie that even when I was like little and watched it, it's just always disturbed me. That part where their mom turns into a boat.
Wait, what?
They.
I'm sorry. Repeat everything you just said, because I apparently was not paying attention.
Okay, the scene. They're in the airplane.
What game are we talking about? Or movie?
The Incredibles.
The Incredibles, where their mom turns into a... Oh yeah!
Yeah.
Oh yeah!
The ship gets shot out of the sky.
Yeah, and she was just
she
like...
turns into a boat.
Just like King of Red Lions there.
She is Elastigirl, not shape-shifting woman. Like, I never got the connection between elasticity and then shape-shifting.
Yeah.
Like, I understand the concept, like, you can stretch your arms and pick up objects across the room or punch people. But how come you can just change, like, your width and your height and your depth? Like, you can change all these other variables that Elastic can't fix.
Well, because it's a convenient plot device. It's the same reason everybody in Dragon Ball Z can fly. Actually, the guy who wrote that said that. He said that he just made it so people can fly, so he could progress the plot when he needed to, so they could just, like, go where he needed them.
That's funny. It's a weird show I never got into.
I never did either. It's a messed up show, man. Some crazy stuff.
I mean, like when I was little, I saw episodes, and I never really got the concept of what was going on. Because the only episodes I saw when I was little were, like, the Boo ones, where he turns people into candy and eats them. And then I saw other ones where people got chopped in half. I'm like, what is this show?
Alright, well, I never saw those ones, apparently, so
you never saw the ones where, like...
No? Turning them into candy and eating them?
Yeah,
Boo's the pink guy, right?
Yeah, he's the... He has 3 forms. He has, like, Kid Boo, Skinny Boo, and then Chubby Boo.
And he turns people into candy and eats them?
Yeah, when he's Chubby Boo, he turns people into candy and eats them. And then there's, like, a part where they're, like, in his stomach, like, fighting or something.
Did they...
I bet people, fans of that show, are really mad at us right now. Because, like...
Oh! Like, what is... No, that's a classic. You can't touch Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, and, like... And the only other episode I remember is the one with Cell, who is the, like, green guy with, like, the tail that, like, sucks the energy out of people. And the only scene I remember is when he just, like, sucks the life out of her, and they just, like, shrivel up, because they, like, terrified me when I was little. I'm just like, ah!
Oh, God. No, take it away.
Yeah. Christopher Walken.
Yeah. Whatever, that wasn't Walken. That was... I mean, I don't know.
That sounded like Walken.
It wasn't.
We're gonna watch this later. You're like, oh, that was Walken.
Oh, whatever. I don't know how long I've been playing. This game puts me in a trance. It's like Dark Souls. I'm gonna allude to Dark Souls every time I play anything. But it reminds me of that. Like, I just get enraptured in this game. Even though it's not even an immersive world. It's like, oh, hey, look, that's the same robot. Oh, hey, look at that robot.
I remember him from earlier.
Yeah. Oh, look at Caterpillar. That's crazy. I've never seen one of those before. This annoys me. You have to jump, like, before you get out from underneath them. I already missed a gold. I can't even get the bonus.
That's why I get the rest of them.
This game works fantastically well with an NES controller. Like, better even than the Wiimote on which I originally played it. Like, it's like I wonder if in development if they even used it, because it feels fantastic. It's terrible on a 360 pad. Have you played it with that?
No.
You gotta use the D-pad for everything. Like, have fun with that.
I've only played this game with a keyboard.
Have fun oh, God.
Not that bad.
Well, I don't know. It might be better than 360 D-pad.
I don't know, Benny. Is the D-pad on the 360 worse than keys on a keyboard?
It depends. I don't know, because keyboard, I don't know. What are the controls? Anyway, because, like,
arrow
the
keys
keyboard,
and spacebar.
Yeah.
And then, like, I think, like, an A.
It'd be goofy, I think, to
kick.
A is kick. Okay, so A and spacebar. That's a great idea.
I think I actually changed the controls.
How many keys are adjacent to spacebar that they had to use A?
None. The spacebar's on its own little island.
Down there by itself. Man, if we ever invent space travel, somebody better, like, first alcoholic serving place of any kind in space better be called the space bar.
See, I don't like that joke, because I'll explain why. I saw this picture. And
your joke's not funny. Let me explain why it's not funny.
No, the reason I'm saying that is
I'm not just gonna disagree with you. I'm gonna personally here.
Hand
me this.
One, you ain't funny. 2, I'm gonna tell you why. And 3, your mama's ugly.
And 4, I'm gonna tell you why your mama's ugly.
But no, the reason I don't like that joke is because I saw this picture. It was like meme based or something, and it had the Cantina bar and it said space bar, and then below it had like space bar and a keyboard. It said space bar. Know the difference. If you are in, say you live on Mars, say we're aliens and we live on Mars scenario, and Earth also exists. Do we call the bars on Earth space bars? Because they're not in the same place as we are? And they're on a planet, so aren't they? Isn't it an Earth bar?
Hey.
Or is this bar like a satellite that just like floats around in space?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I don't mean on a different, because that would be the Mars bar, for Christ's sake, Dylan. Come on! That one's staring you right in the face.
Oh, that was a pretty good one. But no, like...
because, no, listen. Because if it's in space, it makes sense. I mean, like, when we've got, like, self-sufficient buildings that just hover around in space. Like, at the end of, like, I don't remember. It's at the end of one of those Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy books. There's a thing. It's like the little, it's like, what is it, a coffee shop or something? Like coffee shop at the end of the universe? The galaxy. I'm just butchering this. If we don't have any fans of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
I haven't even read those books. I watched the movie when I was like
I haven't either,
4.
but I know... There's no way you were 4 when the movie came out. The movie had to come out... No way!
It's called exaggeration, Benny!
How old are you now? I was under the impression you're a year younger than me. Am I just playing this as some... Is this my life? I'm making YouTube videos with some 8-year-old kid. Just playing video games, talking about it with some little kid that I definitely shouldn't be hanging out with.
Anyway, the reason that Cantina bar joke doesn't make any sense is because it's on a planet.
Well, yeah.
So that joke doesn't make any sense.
I agree with you.
Sorry, and I put the connection together that was the joke you're making because I just recently...
No!
You stink! You're an idiot.
It's the same place.
How long have we been here? A year?
I feel like I live on this strip of... If you look, though, like, why am I running so close to the edge of this cliff? Like, it's very... Like, there's stuff jutting out of it, so it's obvious that...
But this is the only smooth part. Look at the background. You got all those potholes.
I could move a little bit to the left. Look how flat I am. I could easily run between this road and those potholes. Without a single problem.
Actually, technically, Benny, since you are two-dimensional...
I can go between anything.
Yeah, you have no depth. Look at your guy.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, obviously, if you can see 3D models of things you are standing next to and you can't see one of yourself, I don't think you have any depth.
Maybe that's the dimension I came from that was separate.
If you're two-dimensional, can you move that way?
Well, I don't know. Let's use the expert, which was Super Paper Mario on the Wii. In which case, no. You can't if you like flip dimensions and look at it the other way, and you move like paper, but otherwise it's like a side scroller.
But technically, in that game, Mario's the only one that had the power to do that.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think that's right. Because Bowser had like his fire dealy. I don't know what Peach did. I don't know. I didn't even finish that game. I rented it, and I got to the last level, and my like time to rent it expired. I was like, well, I'm not paying to rent it, so I can play the last level.
I rented Paper Mario when I was...
Oh God! What is happening to me?
I rented the original Paper Mario on the it was on 64. Wasn't it?
N64. Yes.
Yeah, I rented it for the N64 when I was like really little, and I didn't know what to do because I was too small to understand like the concept of story and talking to people.
And you had to climb around on the.
I had to punch the A button, like
jump.
I had to like drop it in order to press the button, and it got so tiring. I was just like, oh, I can't do this anymore. But no, like I was too.
Was your mom concerned you were too small to play video games?
Nah, man. She thought if I didn't, I had to learn my lessons on my own.
According to you, if you watched Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy when you were 4, you must have been like fetal when you were playing that game.
I was, Benny. Thanks a lot for making me feel bad.
How did you? I feel like your birth cycle was not that of a human. Were you like? Did you grow out of like a follicle of hair and you used to be like microscopic?
Hey,
I'm
from Mars, Benny. I'm from Mars. That's why I can relate so easily.
How did you not understand the Mars bar joke if you're from Mars?
We don't have any bars on Mars! It's a dry planet, Benny! We're a civilized people!
Oh god, is that what you... Oh, what is this crap? Are you like a missionary coming here to tell us that we can't drink?
That's your lesson for the day. My people need me now, I'm off. Just
you like descend from the heavens
to tell everyone that we need to stop drinking.
Yeah, you're like, do you have a minute to talk about Jesus Christ?
We're the Jehovah's Witnesses of space.
But if the story remains intact and you're like super tiny, so you're like this size of a guy's finger, staying on the ground, you're like, excuse me, sir. And you like look down at the ground.
Well, everyone in Mars is that big, so.
Yeah, it's like, do you mind your feet, sir? But while I have your attention,
I was the size of a toe.
Do you have a moment to talk about Jesus Christ?
I'm like Plankton from SpongeBob. That's how big I was compared to everyone else.
Do you have... I don't... Is there like a Mars Bible where they... Oh, for the love of God! We're done! We're done! We're done! We're done!
Obviously,
no, we're done.
Obviously, we're not.
Next time on BrinkHouse Bros Game, we play a different game. I don't even care.